Imagine it's the middle of the night, the world is silent, and you are staring at the ceiling when a memory, 6 years ago, hits you like a physical weight. It's that one specific interaction where you tripped over a sentence or made a joke that didn't land. You begin the internal autopsy, examining every syllable, the tilt of your head and the exact microexpression on the other person's face. You're convinced that somewhere they are still cringing at your existence. But here at Quiet Pressure Sketchbook, we have to face blunt reality. They've completely forgotten you even spoke. This isn't just a quirk of an overactive imagination or a symptom of a restless mind, though it's certainly both. There is a deeper, more structural reason why your brain insists on dragging you back to the scene of the crime. It's less about the social slip-up and more about an internal struggle to fix a past that is already set in stone. We often trick ourselves into thinking this mental playback is about the other person. We tell ourselves we're trying to decode their true feelings, or checking to see if we've been permanently exiled from their good graces, but that's a smokescreen. When you're stuck in that loop, you isn't analyzing a social interaction, you're attempting to perform a retroactive identity transplant. You are trying to swap the real, clumsy version of yourself for a polished, idealized avatar who says the right thing at the right time. The pain comes from the realization that you are locked out of that moment. You are tethered to the person you actually were, and your mind refuses to accept that version of the story about the specific memories that haunt you. Usually they aren't moments of genuine malice or moral failure. They are the almosts, the times you were a bit too loud, a little too desperate for approval, or when your tongue got tied just as you wanted to seem sophisticated. On the Quiet Pressure Sketchbook journey, we explore how these tiny fractures become canyons in our psyche, feel like definitive proof that you are failing to meet your own standards. Science suggests we spiral most. There is a massive canyon between our authentic self and the perfect version we think we're supposed to be. You aren't replaying the tape to understand the past. You're rehearsing for a life that didn't happen, trying to bridge a gap that only exists within your own skull. The most tragic part is that the memory you're obsessed with isn't even accurate. Every time you pull that file from your mental cabinet, you aren't viewing the original footage. You're viewing the last time you edited it. Memory is less like a hard drive and more like a game of telephone played with yourself. By the time you've replayed a moment 50 times, it's been stained by your current insecurities and your present day fears. You are effectively punishing yourself for a fictionalized horror movie that your brain directed and produced. You've magnified the awkwardness, erased the warmth, and projected a judgment onto the other person that they likely never felt. You are being gaslit by your own subconscious. You might argue that this is how you learn, that you're reviewing the game film to play better next time. It's a noble sounding excuse, but there is a sharp line between growth and self-torture. True reflection is a straight line. Back, grab the lesson and walk away. Rumination is a carousel. You grab the lesson, drop it, go around again, feel worse, and end up exactly where you started, just more exhausted. This isn't about self-improvement. It's about a desperate need for control. We want to control how the world sees us and how the past unfolded, but the past is a closed book. Your brain keeps trying to find a pen to rewrite the ending, unaware that the ink dried years ago. Every time you rehearse that better version of yourself, you are silently whispering to yourself that the person you are right now isn't enough. You are building a legal case against your own worthiness. Using One Awkward Tuesday from 2019 as Exhibit A, this cycle reinforces the idea that you must be a flawless machine to deserve a seat at the table. Research shows that when we lack self-compassion, we become trapped in these courtrooms where we are simultaneously the defendant, the prosecutor, and the hanging judge. The trial never ends because you refuse to grant yourself a pardon for the crime of being human. The real loss here isn't the awkward conversation, It's the 6 years you've spent letting a 3-second stumble define your entire soul. You've taken a tiny flickering candle of a moment and used it to set your whole house on fire. Consider this. Maybe you can't stop thinking about it because that moment is so fundamentally unlike who you actually are. Your brain is confused by the anomaly. But the answer isn't to analyze the anomaly until it makes sense. The answer is to stop giving it the power to dictate your future. Energy you spend fixing 300 AM ghosts is energy stolen from the people standing right in front of you today. Conversation is just a brief exhale in time. It isn't a prophecy or a final verdict on your character. You were just a person doing their best with the limited tools you had in that specific second. You didn't have the clarity you have now, and you didn't have a script. It's time to take your finger off the rewind button and let the tape run out. Those moments belong in the archives, messy, imperfect, and human. If this perspective helped quiet the noise, please subscribe to Quiet Pressure Sketchbook to help us keep making these deep dives into the mind. Consider hitting the join button to support the community. I've linked a few more videos here that tackle these mental loops from different angles. I'll see you in the next one.